Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. This month has suddenly dumped a huge number of games on us. We've got the Division 2 beta, we've got Anthem, we've got Apex Legends, Fortnite's doing some stuff as well, Black Ops 4 is going to have a DLC too. There's a huge amount of stuff. I mean, there's a Metro game, I think, Kingdom Hearts just came out. So much stuff's going on right now, and I'm going to try and get to all of those in the next couple of videos that I make on my channel, but today, I just want to talk about zombies, and I specifically want to talk about the end of the AETHER storyline. I want to transport you back to the days of World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, okay? Richtofen and Maxis kind of became the main characters in the story that we were focused on because Richtofen clearly had a plan and Maxis was clearly somewhere amongst the sidelines doing his own thing. You start with a map like Shinonuma and obviously we know very little, but both of those characters are mentioned on that map. And then we've got obviously Dariz, we've got Kino, we've got Call of the Dead, we've got Shang, and then we get to Moon and it's like, oh man, this is a finale. And then it ended up not being a finale, it just ended up being like the closing of a chapter almost, and the opening of an Act 2 in the form of Black Ops 2. And then obviously we got Transit, and we learned about the new motives of those two characters, the kind of next stage of things, and then things culminated, weirdly, with Buried, kind of, but then also with Origins, kind of, as well. If you think about it, Zombies has had a really weird plot rhythm for as long as I can remember. I mean, since the very beginning, it's been so weird. But anyway, that was an arc. That was a series of chapters. That was a progression that took a long dang time. We went through 3 games in that time. World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. All 3 of those had to transpire before we got to what we felt like was a kind of end to that story. And it wasn't even really an end. It was more of a leadership change with the narrative team, a recontextualization of what we'd learned from the past, but it pretty much was the end of the Jimmy Z story, if you will, and then Jason transformed it into the cycle, etc., etc. Now, we're in a position where our current goal in the story is outside of that cycle, right? We've done the cycle stuff, we've been there, we've understood it, that's all fine, but we've got this new enemy, Dr. Monty, who was only really introduced 3 or 4 maps ago. We've had Gorod Krovi being the first map that Monty actually spoke in. Then we had Revelations, and then we got to Black Ops 4 and we had Blood of the Dead, and I guess you could kind of count Classified if you wanted as well. In comparison to the previous gravitas of that story, we're now in a situation where we know that there's a great war coming that we're going to need to prepare for in our fight against Dr. Monty. We know that that is going to happen. We've heard about it in Blood. We've heard about it in Classified. Are they going to be able to deliver on that great war in the remaining 3 DLCs? I mean, DLC 2 is right around the corner, and there's a decent chance it will contain an AETHER map because we know that at some point a Nuketown remake is coming, thanks to the leaks that came out last year from the fired QA tester. We know that's on the cards at some point and is probably going to be one of the next AETHER maps to release because otherwise that QA tester would have mentioned other maps instead of Nuketown. But even if Nuketown is the next DLC, DLC 2 is just Nuketown, and then DLC 3 is just more AETHER, and DLC 4 is just more AETHER, are they going to be able to actually get to the Great War by that 4th and final DLC? I just can't see it happening, man. There is not enough time for character development. There is not enough time for the kind of feeling to set in the fans' minds, in the players' minds, that this is actually it. This is the end of everything. I just don't feel like the emotional weight will have had enough time to mature. And especially when we're used to these arcs being drawn out over such long timescales, are they going to be able to get to the great battle for DLC 4? Or are they going to need to do some kind of Season 2? I've heard a bunch of rumors swirling around recently that the next Call of Duty game is COD Modern Warfare 4. Now, if that is the case, I don't think it's going to have zombies. Lee Ross seemingly doesn't even work at Infinity Ward anymore. He's, as far as I can tell, gone over to Treyarch, and thematically, I feel like it would almost make sense for them to just go in the Spec Ops direction and then leave Treyarch to do another 4 zombies maps and just extend their DLC cycle. And I've been thinking about different ways that COD could kind of progress here if they didn't do that, and thinking, okay, well, they did mention a few years ago that there's gonna come a point where COD is no longer a yearly franchise, right? COD will take a break year at some point. So could that happen this upcoming year, well, I don't think so. I think that the rumors are really pointing in the direction of it being Modern Warfare 4, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if it came with the Modern Warfare 2 campaign on disc or something like that, seeing as there were all those rumors previously about that campaign being remastered as well. But then, okay, maybe they'll take a break year for the next year, because, I mean, think about it, right? Cameron Dayton has left, Schofield has left, Condrey has left, Jason has left. So many people from that Sledgehammer Games team have gone. Are they going to do zombies? Does that studio have any real direction right now? They're still updating their game. They're putting new weapons into COD World War II as of like this week or something. And so surely that might be indicative that they're planning to support it for a little longer and then take a break year. But then what do we do in that year? I mean, you'd expect then that Modern Warfare 4 would have 2 years of content, but then if Modern Warfare 4 doesn't have zombies, are Treyarch going to do 3 years of content? Surely not. I mean, they've got to make the damn game Black Ops 5 or whatever, right? They've got to have time to do that at some point. So I feel like no matter which direction I look at it from, there is not a clear and best case scenario kind of approach for Call of Duty and for Activision to take in the next couple of years, at least in the context of zombies. And so part of me thinks, wow, maybe, screw Season 2, maybe they just end it now. I mean, Zombies has had such a tough year. Jason, for all we know, might be about to just wrap the story up as fast as he can and then retire. Like, we just do not know what the guy's plans are. When I've talked to Jason in the past, he's always said, feel free to tell your audience that, like, I'm not leaving, right? Like, I'm not going anywhere. There were rumors maybe a year or two ago that Jason was planning to leave the company, and I talked to him about it at the global reveal event, that community reveal for Black Ops 4, and he said to me, no, it's all nonsense completely. I was never planning to leave. I'm here in it for the long haul. I mean, I see 10 more years of zombies. And I think that the starting of the Chaos story is evidence of that. I mean, clearly, Call of Duty thinks that zombies has some legs, otherwise they wouldn't have started a new story now. But the Aether story surely is going to get shuttered. I mean, they can't just keep it going. We don't have anyone to care about beyond Monty right now. He's the only person that is really an antagonist. I mean, even the Shadow Man doesn't seem so bad. I'm just left confused. I'm left not sure in the slightest where the future of the Aether story lies. If we get Nuketown next, it's going to feel inevitably like a filler map because it's going to be a remake. No matter how much bigger they might make it, it's still a map that we've had before. What are they going to do? I mean, they've got 2 DLCs left at that point. Are they going to go to Venus for one map and then the Great War for the next? Or are they going to say, okay, we need more time to develop this arc, which is what I would like. We're going to go over to a Season 2, but then hit all the other problems that I've just mentioned about how if Modern Warfare 4 doesn't have zombies, how's that going to work with the next year of content? Will World War 2 have zombies? And just all these questions, man. I really don't know. But I was thinking about it today, and like I said, I got tweeted about it, and I was really curious what you guys thought, because zombies has never been in this kind of an unstable position before, I feel like. No one has ever, in the history of zombies, been this kind of up in the air about what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, let alone in the next 6 months. Like, we just don't know because there's no marketing for the next DLC just yet. There's nothing really on the cards. There's no roadmap. And other games are releasing either expansions or their actual product with roadmaps on day one. And we're kind of sitting here like, man, it's going to be a weird year. We do not know what's coming. So, I'm not saying all this to be really negative. I'm not saying this to, like, hate or try and stir up drama. I'm just saying, I think it's really interesting that we're kind of lost at sea right now, and this could go in any direction. I mean, the Chaos story as well needs to kind of finish at some point. Jason seemed to imply that it was going to be a fairly linear story with a more textbook kind of ending in DLC 4, but then does that mean that we're going to be getting 2 maps per DLC for the next 3 DLCs? Like, what is happening, man? I wish they would tell us, but they won't. Which brings me to the ultimate question. What do you think? Where the hell do you think we're going from here, guys? Are we getting a new DLC in a couple weeks' time with 2 maps? Is that going to advance the Aether story? Is the Aether story going to end in 3 maps' time? Like, that is a crazy thought. That is a crazy, crazy thought. We might be 3 maps away from never seeing Richtofen ever again. That's wild. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Really interested to hear them because I just don't know. I've been thinking about it, and no matter how I look at it, don't know. So yeah, I'm MrRoflWaffles. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed. Division, Anthem, Apex, Metro, Crackdown, all sorts of videos are going to be coming out nice and soon on my channel, so keep your eyes posted for that. Thank you to all of you that support other games on this channel, not just Call of Duty Zombies. You guys are the best. I love you so much. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.